guys. This is episode 99.
Oh, that was 98. Dang.
Nope. Last episode
Mislabeled.
was 98.
Rip. 99. Woo.
All right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. Here we go. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the 99th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. 99! We're almost at 100. That's awesome. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today we are talking about the Joker movie. We are reviewing everything from the beginning to the end and talking about some interesting things about the ending that some people may know or may not know. A lot of discussion going to happen today. Today, I am here with Shayne.
I hope you're having a great day.
And Nick.
It has no post-credit scene.
Yes, this is not a Marvel movie. However, I did find out that Joaquin Phoenix was like asked to do some Marvel movies, and he was like, "Nah, fam." They're like, "Do you want to do Doctor Strange?" Nah. Do you want to do the Hulk? No. Do you want to do Joker? And he was like, "Yeah."
That's my dude. DC fanboy all the way.
I know. It's a script movie. I saw her, by the way, just to kind of prepare for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But
awesome.
But Michael's not here. And I think he really loves that movie. And I was going to talk to him about it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good movie.
I need to watch it again.
I like that movie a lot.
I need to watch like a couple video essays about it to be like, to learn. You know, I feel like that's the new thing is you watch a movie and then it's like, all right, I finished the movie. I have to go to YouTube and watch a bunch of movies about the movie to figure out what I missed. Because there's usually a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all saw the Joker movie. We were all hyped,
did it, y'all.
Excited for it, and now we've seen it. I know that I wanted it to be good.
I was just gonna say everyone was safe
in such a way that it's not forgettable. Because there's a lot of movies out there that I've seen that are good movies. Like I was saying about this. You guys remember the movie The Town? Like The Town is a good movie, if you guys even remember it. But everyone forgot about it. Nobody talks about it and just faded away. I think it was Ben Affleck directed it, right?
Oh.
And I didn't want Joker to be one of those movies. Yeah, see, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that movie did come out. When did that come out? I don't even remember. I forget everything that happened to it, but I remember liking it.
I just want to say, at the Joker premiere, everyone was safe. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah,
I had to walk past 5 armed guards. What the heck? I just wanted some popcorn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about the likelihood that something's going to happen. It's about the perception on whether or not people think something will happen.
For sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Doing something like that during the Joker movie would be the worst time to do it because everyone's expecting it.
Exactly. You're just not helping the experience be any better.
Yeah. I remember saying that I thought Todd Phillips was kind of an odd choice as a director because I was
Hangover.
like, oh, wow, this guy, okay. And I remember saying that Joaquin Phoenix was not a bad choice. So
you were wrong? Is that what we're?
Yeah.
Is that what we're just
No, I was right. No, I was right. Well, I was right about Joaquin Phoenix, and I wasn't. Well, I still think Todd Phillips is an odd choice. It just ended up being the odd choice.
I feel like honestly, that was a pretty universal. Like everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna kill it," but also Todd Phillips, really? Like,
yeah,
I feel like that was a universal like line. No one thought Todd Phillips was a good choice. Everyone thought Joaquin was a good choice because he's freaking weird.
Yeah.
So
what
I don't know.
movies has Todd Phillips done?
The Hangover.
Yeah, and the last one he did Old School, Hangover.
That's all you really need to know.
He did all of the Hangover movies, or
I think so.
Yeah, all 3 of them. But I feel like the second and the third were more like he probably got paid so much money
contractual
that it was just like, they were just like, just make them, just make the movies.
Contractual obligations.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch, Road Trip. Yeah, just classic fratty movies. For a while.
they're like
romantic
raunchy.
So this is a little
comedies.
What would be out of his element than what we've seen.
Yeah, this is a Scorsese film. Like it's exactly like Taxi Driver. That's what everyone's talking about. He said
that and Fight Club. I've heard.
He took influence from Scorsese films, and it's like some people are actually bothered that
everyone's
he took too much.
Why? He can't be inspired?
He's inspired.
I'm just telling you what the people are saying. Just telling
I know
you
people suck though. You're not allowed to be
off.
inspired by anything these days.
So apparently the studio wanted him to cast Leo DiCaprio as
I mean, who doesn't?
as the Joker.
He's in another Scorsese movie.
I was trying to picture that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
But he was like, no, I'm going to do Joaquin Phoenix as the person I want. and then that's what he went for. And I think he made a good choice, but we will get there. So
I honestly feel like Leo would be like, wait, isn't he the guy that did Old School? No, I'm good. And he would like walk away from the deal.
No, Leo would say they're not paying me enough money. I'm not doing this.
I can't imagine Leo playing the Joker. I feel like he'd do a good job, but I'm picturing him with like the makeup on.
I don't think I don't know. I don't think
he's not weird enough. You know, it's almost like
he wouldn't inhabit it like Joaquin really did.
I was gonna say he's almost too good looking. Where it'd be like, why is he this weirdo? You know. But then I remembered that Heath Ledger is like really good looking too. So it's like, okay, well, that didn't stop him from playing the Joker.
Makeup does a hell of a thing.
Makeup, CGI, everything.
Fun fact: Todd Phillips' next movie is an untitled Hulk Hogan biopic. So,
I mean,
really killing it there.
We stand.
I thought you were about to say his next film will be Joker 2. No!
Joaquin said no to Joker 2.
Yeah, he's like, right. They were all about no Batman.
No franchise.
Yeah. We don't want any Batmans in this movie. And they almost didn't have Batman in this movie, but then they did.
Yeah, they did.
Which I feel like was just fan service, but it had that good little twist in there.
Felt like it was tagged on.
It was. That seemed like a scene they filmed like after them, like
I don't know.
Post-production.
I'll reshoot.
So
exactly.
To start off, this film takes place in 1981. So it's in the 80s. So
I love the 80s.
Good. Can I just say this movie looked good? It looks good.
It was very shallow depth of field all over. Like it was really dreamy looking almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of wide shots.
Plays into
like there was one shot that literally looked like a Grand Theft Auto scene.
Yeah.
I think where he was like walking through the street and the camera just following him, and it just looked like I pictured the health bar about to pop up. You know? I did like that it took place a while ago. I kind of like seeing movies that are back in time a little bit, and I guess it makes sense because it's an origin story. But it was cool to see it in the 80s.
I love a good 80s film.
So I'm trying to decide, like, there's things I want to talk about that have to do with the twists at the end. So I think what I'm going to do is point out some issues.
We should say this is a spoilers podcast.
Yeah, if you didn't figure that out, like
I don't know how you haven't figured that out yet.
At the end, he becomes the Joker.
Some people get triggered, so this is spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to be spoiled.
If you put in the title,
right now.
Not enough.
Why
some
is
people
he
don't read,
so?
Nick.
Okay, he's really old. That was something I was thinking. Like Joker.
Yes.
You know, he's like 35, 40. And so I'm like, by the time it's 2000, he's going to be like 60. Is that right? Now, I think there's a reason for that, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Man.
So he's a sad guy. He's got a bad job. He's not paid very much. He's insane. He has this laughing disorder, which was insanely well done.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oscar-worthy performance on that, for sure.
The laugh was great.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always sad. He became sad. He was actually very happy at the beginning of this film.
What was it, like a fake
Arthur,
happy?
or whatever his name is.
How did it open? I don't remember how the movie opened.
I don't think so. He was he was working at the clown shop and he was flipping his sign, and then the guys came and took his sign and beat him up.
Is that the opening?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember. Hold on.
I don't think that's exactly how it opens.
1 second. How does the movie open? Does anybody remember?
It's literally 1981 Gotham on like he's on the square and he's entertaining in his clown mask.
So it starts with the sign spinning?
Yeah, he's trying to get people to go into the store like that's going out of business.
And then the kids grab the sign from him. And
they could have cast better kids, but...
It was funny. But they beat him up in the alleyway. He like runs and chases them down the alleyway. And they hit him with the sign and then beat his butthole. And then,
and that was like, oof, that was rough.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. And then his little flower thing squirts out. It's kind of funny.
I really liked that. That was good.
It was like blood coming out almost.
Yeah. And then Joker flashes on the screen.
Yeah.
And apparently that was a big deal, that graphic.
That was cool.
The Joker title.
Yeah, apparently that took a lot of work.
It covered up the whole. It was like getting cut off in our theater.
Yeah,
it was so
what
clear.
movie
It was outside of
watching?
It was outside of the safe zones.
Yeah.
right.
Like
Right. It was
when you
uncomfortable.
edit video, you actually have safe zone guidelines for televisions and movie theaters, and it like went outside of those.
Is it supposed to make you uncomfortable?
Will.
Is that the like the gist of
Probably.
it?
That's the Joker. That was the Joker.
That's the joke.
Yeah, so
yeah.
he starts going kind of, he's sad. He's a little weird.
A lot
People
of
think
bad
he's
things
weird.
are happening to him.
He is doing the street sign thing, gets beat up, and then this guy is like, yeah, Gotham's getting insane. Everyone's getting riled up. Why don't I give you this gun? Gives him the gun. Then he goes to like the children's hospital. The
Randall.
gun falls out. He gets fired.
That was hilarious, dude.
Which,
I gotta
yes,
say.
I
That
was
gun
like-
scene, I was
Yeah.
dying, dude.
I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you bring
Why
this
did
gun?
you bring that in there?
Why? He's like, it's a part of my action. Like, why though?
I love how he played it off though. He's like, oops.
Yeah, no,
It's part of the act. It's a prop. He went with it too. When his boss reprimanded him right after that, and he was like smiling at him, that was uncomfortable. Do you remember that? The camera was just
Yeah.
zooming in on his face, and the guy's like
They had a lot of
yelling
good
at him,
moments
like,
like that.
"What the
Yeah.
hell are you doing with the gun?"
Yeah.
And he's just, it's okay.
he was really creepy looking with his like bony body and stuff.
Yeah, when they showed
His
his back, I
shoulder
was like,
blades,
oh,
dude.
get it. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, get it off the screen.
His shoulder
Yeah.
blades deserve an Oscar.
Yeah.
Dude.
So then he goes home and he's with, and this is all a
his
little bit
mom.
out of order, obviously, because it doesn't really
Right.
matter. Because hopefully you guys have seen the movie. But he goes
Yeah.
back to his mom and she starts talking about
Which we had to talk about her.
Mr. Wayne. And I was immediately, like, I heard Wayne and immediately knew that's his dad. That's
Here we go.
Bruce Wayne's dad.
Right.
You know, I, was like, I
took
know who
me-
that is. And like some people in the theater didn't hear it right away.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she said, Mr. Wayne is a good guy. And I was like, she worked for, okay, so there's a connection now, which I couldn't decide if I liked that or not. But there's more into the
Yeah.
connection later. You said you want to talk about the mom.
Well, yeah, the part in the movie where he goes and does some snooping. We gotta talk about his mother.
Okay, I have that in the notes, so we'll
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's a little further down. Yeah, so he, they mention the Wayne family, so you kind of get this feeling that he's got some
can I say
history with
something?
them. Yeah.
About the Wayne family thing. Could you say like some people didn't pick it up? I didn't pick it up. It actually took me a long time. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or I just really don't know anything about like the backstory of like Batman and stuff. But like 20 minutes into the movie, they're like Thomas Wayne, and I looked at my friend who I was sitting with the movie. I said, oh, like Bruce Wayne, Batman. And she
You're
said,
like,
I
yeah,
get it now.
I was
Actually-
like, oh, I just didn't think that for some reason it was going to be connected. I thought it was just going to be purely the Joker. So Batman wasn't even a thought in my
Right.
head.
In my mind, I can't remember. Did a DC symbol flash at the very beginning of the movie?
I don't think so.
I couldn't
don't remember
remember if it did
seeing
or
it.
not. Yeah. It was something to
like
think about.
I feel like that's illegal. I feel like it has to
But
show
yeah.
the DC logo.
I
But
got so
don't-
much more
yeah,
invested
remember
once I
it.
found that out. I was like, ooh.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it, but
Yeah, I don't remember it
um,
either. That's the thing.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I remember taking a note. I was like, did I see the DC symbol or not? But anyway.
If you guys know if the DC symbol was in the movie, let us know in the comments.
Please
Yes.
We need to know.
help our stupid memories
I
of
have
Dory.
to do this review in sort of a weird way, and I'm trying to figure out
Like
the
this
best way
movie.
to do it because
Yeah, exactly.
there was things that happened that I was like, that's weird. I didn't like that fell off.
When he's in the comedy
But
club.
I found out later that it's like,
Yikes.
oh, it feels
Yeah.
off because it's supposed okay, so that's
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out how do I convey that feeling without sounding like I'm saying the movie was bad because
this movie's
Sophie,
very, it's a mind
like,
trip. It's a
yeah,
mind,
and so like
it's a-
I trusted the director, right? So I
Yeah.
was like, this feels off, but I feel like it's for a reason. So
Right.
Sophie, the girl in the other
Oh my
apartment, I was
goodness.
like, what in the world is this? This is so weird because
Yeah, it made me
she meets him
uncomfortable.
in the elevator, and
Yeah.
then it's like, what? She's
There's just no
attracted to
way.
him. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just
There's
busts
just
into her
no
house and they just started
way.
making out. I'm like, what? I said, that was fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was
seriously.
like he does the hand to the gun to the head motion, and that first
Yeah.
of all, you're like, creepy. Then
I know. I'm like, I'm not talking to this guy.
Wasn't it after he kills the 2 or the 3 people on the train?
Yes, he got his, got some confidence. He's like, I'm having sex.
Yeah, so he gets fired. he gets fired from his job, and then he's sad, and then he's going back home on the train, and actually gets beat up by, which I found out later, are 3 people that actually work for Wayne Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Heyo.
So they're actually tied to the company. So he gets beat up by them, and he shoots 2 of them in self-defense, and then kind of goes after the other one and kills him. And that scene was
what they deserved.
Intense.
Dang, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Where the guy was like crawling away.
Yeah.
He was like, walking after him in his clown costume.
This movie was pretty violent. I mean,
I don't think
it definitely
was
earned its
as
R
violent
rating.
as people made it seem, though.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
it definitely was R, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, for sure. But
because it's like Logan was more violent than this movie.
Right.
This one I think is just darker because it's not a superhero with claws killing people. It's just like a person snapping
it's a
and shooting
exactly.
people.
Yeah.
It's more relatable. It's more true to you.
Mental health.
So he kills the 3 people, and then he goes back.
Which that girl didn't even say thank you for like taking the heat for her. Like, cause they were going after her first, and she just dipped on him.
To be fair, he was laughing, and it was kind of weird.
Yes, but he even had the card, which I have to say, this is why I said those guys deserved it, and I was kind of okay with them being killed the way they were.
Yeah, I didn't like
because
them.
He even gave them the card that said, "I have this condition," and you're still gonna like make fun of him. Really, you deserve to get shot for that.
Screw that guy.
You deserve to get shot for that.
Maybe not shot, but if he got beat up,
I don't know. If you're beating someone up.
I don't, not shot, but I mean like you deserve what was coming for you.
Yeah,
that's what came.
No, I know what you mean.
That is something that's kind of
Don't
odd
shoot
in this
people,
movie
though.
because I feel bad for him,
Yeah,
but not too much.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
when he's in the when he's in the bathroom dancing, you're like, oh yeah, he's psychotic. I forgot.
Well, yeah, and it was like
dancing in this movie though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah,
I did a good job with that.
He's like, yeah, that's his way of like relaxing. It was like Tai Chi to him or something. It was
that's really was the kind
fascinating.
of dancing it was. But I was gonna say that I felt bad for him, but not too much. Which was it actually makes me feel better about it because had the film portrayed it as like, yeah, he just had a sucky life and it was all unfair and this is where he ended up and that's it. It was like, okay, he had a bad hand, but he also is not handling it right. It's like he's got issues. And so then you're like, all right, so this is, it's not a tragedy.
Right.
Really. It's like the birth of a villain. It's not the tragedy of an innocent person who gets turned into a villain. Right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. But anyway, so he goes back and he goes into Sophie's apartment and they just go off camera. It's assumed that they have sex or something like that. And I remember thinking...
What was the daughter? I know the daughter was in there too. Like, come on now.
But I just thought, I was like, wait a second. She's going to let him walk in and like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then they're on a date and she just keeps smiling and laughing at him no matter how weird he's being. And
I was thinking,
guess this
wow,
is
she
one of those
really
things.
likes him.
Yeah, I was like, it's
she's
supposed to be one of those
really
things where
desperate.
like he
Dang.
feels accepted, but I was like, what? What
Still,
is this?
dude. You're still weird, dude. Sorry. You wear clown. Like, if the clown came to kiss me, dude, I'm sorry.
No,
he still
a
wearing
guy who
makeup?
I met,
He
a
wasn't
guy
still
who I
wearing the
met in
makeup,
the
was he?
elevator who didn't really speak to me at all when I asked him a question or said something to him, and then we get off the elevator and he points a fake gun to his head and shoots himself. No, I'm not making out with him.
Yeah,
if he
dude,
busts
seriously.
into my house and then going on multiple dates, I'm not doing that.
Right. So that was odd.
Yeah.
Oof.
I was like, Sophie, make better choices with life. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so any more
Not a
comments?
Casablanca.
Right. So any comments before I jump into the parts of this movie that are a little bit more spoilery?
The
You know,
what?
like the
Sorry,
twists.
you cut
The part
out.
about
Oh, sorry. I said anything you guys want to talk about before I get into some of the twists, because that's what I'm about to do.
Well, I was just going to say, my favorite scene, I think, in the whole movie, or I guess my most favorite subtle scene, rather than the grand scene, because the ending was awesome, but was when he was in the comedy club and he was laughing off beat from everyone else was. And that was like, you're like, oh, he's really crazy. Like, he does not get this at all.
Yeah, and he's got that unnerving kind of cackle.
His stand-up
I
was
thought-
cringe. It was horrible.
I thought the laughing, I thought it was so good, like the laughing off beat. It was done really well because I was laughing in the theater, but I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, yo, this dude needs to get it together. Like, laugh.
Right.
It was like, so awkward.
But the laugh is so good. Like, Joaquin Phoenix did such a good job, like, just crafting the whole laugh. I'm like, this is just great.
Well, it's a completely different laugh than what we've gotten before.
Right.
You know, when you think of Mark Hamill's Joker and you think of Jack Nicholson's Joker and you think of Heath Ledger's Joker, they all had this specific, and we're not going to talk about Jared Leto, but they all had this specific laugh.
Wow.
And Joaquin Phoenix,
like, nope.
Joaquin Phoenix had like
He doesn't
this,
count.
it's like a painful, pathetic kind of like, you know, when Gollum is coughing and it's got, you know, and it's like kind of pathetic. That's what his laugh was like. It was like this kind of sad, pathetic, painful, uncomfortable, pathetic-y, you know? Like pathetic is the best word I have for it.
He's not having a good time.
Now, question, as someone who's never seen another Joker film,
Whoa, wait.
What does that mean?
You've seen Dark Knight, right?
I may have seen a little bit of it.
What?
And I've seen like half of whatever the last one was. I haven't seen them yet.
Wait a second. I didn't know this.
What?
You have to see that movie because that's
sometimes you choose
debatably
sides,
the
and
best
I chose
Joker.
the side of Marvel, and I'm a loyalist, and I do what I have to do. So, my question
this one doesn't
is,
count. No, Dark Knight Rises.
Count.
Or sorry,
I do want to see the Dark Knight films.
The Dark Knight does not count as like DC cinematic universe.
I don't care about that. I know. Didn't Christopher Nolan do all three, or did he just do?
Yeah, he did all three.
Yeah, I love him, so I'm gonna see them eventually. I just have not seen them.
Well, his Joker's performance in Dark Knight is like considered one of the best performances like ever.
Yeah, that's
like,
Heath Ledger, right?
It's just such, it's such a.
People call it perfect or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did such a good job.
My question is, like, you know, in this Joker, the one we're talking about, you know, the laugh is portrayed as this condition that he has. Is that always been the case, or has the Joker just laughed? Like, and he's just, that's his thing?
No. So, like, this one took that kind of condition and it took the mental health side of it. In Dark Knight, Joker's like an anarchist. And so he doesn't really care about anything. He just wants to kind of cause chaos, and his laugh is just like an evil laugh.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Which I feel like people would be, I don't know, I feel like he's way more controversial than this Joker in some ways. Like, I understand this movie's violent, but like the themes behind Dark Knight, like the nihilist themes with him, like he is something else. So I don't know. I just feel like...
And honestly, well, never mind.
Overblown controversy. We talked about it last podcast.
I was going to get political for a second.
We don't have to get into it.
Yeah, it was overblown. And
yeah,
this
it really
is just,
was.
you think about all these movies that exist in general, and it's like, wait, this is the worst one? And it's like, it's just because it's a headline.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, can I read you some of these headlines? They're kind of hilarious. Just
you
real
said
quick.
that before we even started the podcast. You're like, what is up with these reviews?
Dude, it's Joker wants to be a movie about the emptiness of our culture. Instead, it's a prime example of it. The real reason to skip Joker is that it's boring. Slate. The Atlantic. Yes, Joker's a very serious drama. No, that's not a compliment.
What?
New York Times. Hold on. New York Times. Are you kidding me? That's it.
What?
It's not interesting enough to argue about.
I can kind of agree with that one. That New York Times.
That one's kind of cool because he's like, it's not enough to argue about. Wall Street Journal. It's too grim. The laughs on us. The New Yorker. It's just, they're annoying.
It's still the highest grossing film ever released in October, though, in the first weekend. So whatever.
Opening weekend all time for October.
I mean, this is Oscar season.
8-minute standing ovation in Venice.
So say whatever you want to say. Reviews.
That's how I feel.
Whatever. New York Times.
You're just doing it for clout. That's all. You know people are going to try and shit on the movie.
I feel like that's what all articles are written for. It's for the clout. Which,
it is.
by the way, the word clout, I didn't even know that was a word a year ago. And now all of a sudden I hear it all the time.
Yeah, people do use it. Yeah, it's true.
I didn't even know that was a word. I didn't know what it meant.
For it.
I was like, did you mean to say cloud? Clout. Yeah. I was like, cloud?
Yeah,
no,
I didn't know what it was either for
a
while. I just kept hearing people say it. I was like, what is clout? A lot of people keep saying it. And then I kept hearing like rappers use it in songs. Like, what is clout? Like,
A piece of cloth
How
or
do I
clothing,
get some of
especially
this?
one used as a patch. Archaic
Okay.
meaning.
That's
Clout. There you go.
No, go to Urban Dictionary.
Go to the second definition.
No, I'm good.
Okay. It's like he did it for the clout. He did it for the clout?
Power,
Yeah, but the
whatever, something like that.
Yeah, it's like recognition and fame.
Yeah.
So, spoilers. Just to reiterate, this is the real
Let's just do
spoilers
it.
section.
Let's just do it. Get into
The
it.
mom sends a letter to Wayne, to Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's dad, Batman's dad, saying, hey, I worked for you and we're poor and I know you're a good person. I've been telling my son you're a good person, blah, 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 blah. That's what she says earlier in the movie. But she writes a letter to him. And in the letter, she admits that Joker, or Arthur, is Thomas Wayne's son from her. So basically what she's saying is that Thomas Wayne hooked up with Penny is her name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Penny. And then they had the Joker, or Arthur, as a kid. And so Bruce Wayne and the
He was so
Joker are
happy about
basically
it. He was so
half brothers. Okay.
Which I asked my friend,
What?
I had to ask my friend, I said, does that happen in the comics? I'm like, what is going on?
What universe does that happen in? I would be curious. Be kind of crazy, right?
Does it happen in any of them?
Maybe. Actually, I can look it up. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, so that happens, and first of all, you're like, what?
I
I don't know if I like this, but this is weird. What? And so
I was like, he's so much older than him.
yeah, so he kind of freaks out and starts yelling at his mom, being like, what in the world? You never told me. What is this? Then he goes to sorry, I didn't clarify this. She writes a letter to Thomas Wayne, and that's in the letter, and the Joker steals the letter basically and opens it up and reads it. That's how he finds out. That's how the audience finds out. And then he goes after his mom and starts yelling at her, but she's like, lock the door. And
I
then he
liked
just
when
leaves.
she said, I'm not talking to you until you're not angry. I was like, facts.
Strategy.
Tell him,
So he
Mom.
leaves the
Right.
house and goes to Thomas Wayne's house and sees Bruce Wayne there. And then he sees Alfred. I thought this exchange was fine. I didn't think it was needed. What do you guys think?
Which part? Sorry, I just got done searching.
Where he sees Bruce Wayne, he sticks his thumbs in his mouth and makes him smile and stuff.
Ooh. I was just thinking, like, dude, he smokes, so like he's got his gross tobacco fingers
Which
in that
I have
kid's
to
mouth.
say-
I know, dumb kid.
He smoked way too much.
Yeah, it was
I
too
was
much
like, this is
smoking.
getting uncomfortable. Like, please chill out. It's not
You
that
need to
serious.
eat
Get
a
a
cigarette,
drink or
dude.
something.
lungs.
He needs
I
to
felt
start vaping.
stuffy
My
in the movie
He needs,
theater.
hey, he needs to start vaping.
That's what I said. I'm like, get a Juul. What are you doing?
Like, I feel like a cigarette does add to the sadness, though. It's just like a symbol of how sad he is.
Well, he's
feel.
sad because he spends all his money on cigarettes. You wouldn't be poor. You didn't smoke so
It's a
much.
vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So
I've
this is
heard.
another part that I thought was weird,
Yes.
but does have some. This is the part I'm going to talk about, but does have some merit when you think about it in a different way. So he sneaks because he killed these guys on the train. Thomas Wayne is like, he's a Joker, it's like, this is all, or he's a clown, blah 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 blah, this is all bad. For some reason it starts riots and people start rioting because they're like, Thomas
Yes.
Wayne's against us,
And
against
those rides,
Gotham.
they got the merch together really fast. I was impressed how fast they made like all this merchandise for the
Somebody's
riots.
rich.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that was really quick.
You know what that's like? That's like when the Area 51 event happened and within like an hour someone was selling merch.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
So anyway, he
But for what it's
sneaks-
worth, I can't find anything involving a comic book universe that has that kind of plot. But there
The
are
multiverse.
connections. There are like connections to the family. Not necessarily that he's the brother or related in any way, but there are like hints in some ways of like there being corruption or something involved with his family in the past with the Wayne family. That's pretty much
Okay.
all.
Noted. So he basically sneaks into. I'm gonna move this thing through because everyone's seen the movie. I don't know why I'm going through the entire thing in
Yeah,
so
might
much
as well.
detail.
Yeah.
So basically, he sneaks into Thomas Wayne's house and he sees Thomas Wayne, and then he asks him. Thomas Wayne's
the
like, "Your
opera
mom's
house, yeah.
insane."
Oh, yeah. I was like, what?
And then he punches him, and I was like, "How in the world did he sneak in the house? That seems kind of crazy."
Yeah, right.
And
all
so,
the cops like didn't see him.
yeah. Now there's an excuse for that we'll get to
yeah,
later.
for sure.
Then he
Wait,
goes,
the opera house?
Yeah, so then he goes to
Didn't he
his
have a
mom.
uniform?
Yeah, but he just kind of snuck in and just kind of was like, all right, well, he's in there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
He goes to his mom's, or sorry, he goes to Arkham, which is where his mom was kept. And his mom is basically saying, I'm sorry, I went all out of order. Thomas Wayne says, you're not my son. Your mom is delusional.
She's
Then he
crazy.
goes to Arkham, which is where his mom was,
Yeah.
and finds reports saying that he was abused and that he was adopted and that he was like chained to a radiator. And so you're like, okay, so the mom is evil.
Before that, so when he was, asking the guy for like the records and stuff, and he was like reading, so blah, blah, blah. I was like, wait, you said she was your son, or you said you were her son, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I can't really, I can't release this to you. And then he just like started attacking him for the book. First of all, I'd have been like, yo, take the book. It's not that serious. I don't get paid enough for this. But I was like, wow, like this aggression is, I mean, he is determined to.
Yeah, it's like it just happens all of a sudden when he wants something. Like,
which actually, I didn't even think about this before when I watched the movie, because when he was running down the staircase after that, and he just kept running, I said, why is he running? No one's chasing him. But now I'm realizing, no one was chasing him at all. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Which makes sense with the twist.
We'll get to the twist. I want to get through the whole movie. So to summarize the rest of the movie, he kills his mom. Then he kills Randall, the guy who gave him the gun. He doesn't kill the short guy.
The midget, which I was so happy about.
Which, that scene...
That's so funny.
That's
scene.
when
So
he
funny.
became the Joker. Like that was such a Joker-y scene.
That was it. Yeah, it was a moment.
I didn't know if he was going to kill him. You're like, is he going to kill him?
Anxiety. Oh my god. I said he's not going to kill him. He was the only one that was ever nice to him. But when he got to we told him to go, and he got to the door and he couldn't reach the latch. I said, my heart, I can't take this. I said, my anxiety is too high right now.
I almost wonder if he locked the door on purpose in some way.
Yeah, and that just to torture him. Like,
just to do that. That was his little joke.
That made me super uneasy because I was like, he's gonna kill him, and he's like,
he knew
sorry,
he was gonna
I'll get
kill
the
him.
lock for you.
But then he
grabbed
said
the scissors.
he kissed him on the head and said, you were the only one ever nice to me. I said, see, and that's why he lived. Be nice to the people you think are crazy and weird, because they won't kill you later.
That's why you relate to him, because he's not just a psychopathic killer. He actually has like emotions in some way.
A lot of his kills were justified. I think so.
Well,
in context to the film.
In terms of movie revenge, they weren't just random killings. Yeah. So then he kills that guy. Then he goes on the show that he got made fun of in earlier. Like, I don't want to go into so much detail. And then he kills Murray.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro was great in this.
He was.
Like,
he was
everything
awesome.
he was doing, he played such a good movie host. You know, he was funny. He had the movements down. I liked him a lot.
I didn't even recognize him.
It was brutal.
So many things happen. Yeah, so many things happen in this movie that I'm like, kind of just want to get into it and just talk about random things instead of...
When he shot De Niro, I got to say, that scene was horrific because they showed him shooting him again. Shot him twice. That was brutal, dude.
Yeah.
And he just walks up to the camera. I'm like, this is a Joker moment.
Did you guys
right
think he was going to kill himself?
Yes.
No, I didn't think he was going to kill himself. I know, because he had done the gun thing to his head before, like when he was practicing for the show, which I thought was also a great scene. I knew he was going to like shoot someone on the show. I'm like, he's not going to kill himself. That doesn't make any sense.
Him and himself. I thought he was just going to do bop and then bop. That's what I thought he was going to do.
So if he kills himself, then how is his origin story?
That's what I said. I'm like, he's not going to kill himself.
Then it's not an origin story. It's just a tragedy.
Like, you thought it was going to be just kind of like a spin-off of like, this is what the Joker could be like if he was real or something?
Well, he's not setting up a universe, so he could just be like saying like, this is just a mental health awareness movie. And that's why maybe people
then why make it the Joker?
Maybe that's why people are angry. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's the thing. I don't know. But I was just like, maybe that's why people are angry, because this wasn't handled well. And like, I was thinking maybe he kills himself and he becomes a hero that way, and then people are like struggling with that. But instead, he kills a guy, kills some other people, and then becomes a hero.
Well, the movie had a really big message it was trying to send, like with all of that and like the starting the riots and all that stuff, which I thought they did a pretty good job, except I don't know. I was also too like, the whole show was weird because in real life, that show would not have gone as long as it did. Like with him saying the things he was saying and acting the way he was acting. Well, they would have cut to commercial.
They wanted to cut to a commercial, but you could see that he was like, no, don't, because this is like money.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously. It was kind of like that's like the part of you that thinks like, oh, these guys are just greedy sons of bitches. They should die. Like if that relatable part of you, I guess, struck me.
I guess, but I don't know.
There's some license taken.
I've been to a few tapings. I know it's a different time, and I know it's just a movie, but I've been to like a few tapings of like talk shows, and it was just very weird to me. But I think it makes sense with the twist. But
right.
I don't like when he like made up with the lady. I thought that was weird, and then when they didn't leave, I'm like, are you guys just gonna stay there and hug on to your man? Like, go, run before he kills you.
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah,
like,
but
leave, get up.
He didn't just like start killing people. He just killed one person.
And that's what I liked. He's like, I'm not a mass murderer. I'm just
killing people that deserve it.
Screw you. Don't make fun of me.
Right.
That's kind of what I got.
What did you guys think of his monologue at the end when he was talking to Murray? Because I thought it was pretty good. Like, he's like, you're a mean man, Murray, you know?
Yeah.
And he's
his
like,
voice is so good.
Why is everybody so mean? Why
and
can't
he wasn't
people
laughing.
just...
It was great.
Yeah, so you kind of like, you feel for him, and you're like, oh man, he's just been beaten up, and you know, everyone's mean
he was
to him.
preaching some truth.
You know? Right. So I did kind of like that. I did like that Murray kept kind of zigging him. And he'd like look at the audience and be like, ha ha ha, joke, right? And so it was just leading up. I knew
Murray ratings.
He was going to kill Murray. But I thought, I don't know how I knew it. I think I knew
hesitation.
it. Well, I think I knew it because I was confused about the comics. Because I knew in one comic, I don't know which comic it was, he like kills a guy. I think he like skins him alive. Like it's really violent, but it's like on stage or something. So I thought something like that was going to happen.
Yikes.
So when he just shot him in the head, I was like, well, that's not too violent. Well, that's fine.
I thought he was going to like start shooting like legs, like maybe just aim for like his arm, his leg, and then he starts crawling away kind of thing. I could see that being
he just shot him in the head, bam, done.
I was literally waiting for the worst possible thing because you read these reviews and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the goriest like bloodbath. And I'm like, oh, that was it? Oh.
Yeah, it's like the movie Drive.
Before movies.
The movie Drive was more violent than this.
Holy crap, that movie was way more violent.
And so you're just like
brutal.
You're just like, what is this? It's not that violent. Not really. What'd you say? Lion King is more violent.
I said Lion King's more violent.
Dude.
So then he goes to the asylum at the very end, and she's like, he's like laughing. Yeah, and she's like, "What are you laughing at?" And he just goes,
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. And then it shows him like running away and all that stuff. So that's what I mostly want to talk about. It's like all the stuff revolving around that scene, why that happens, when it happens. Oh yeah, sorry. He gets arrested. He's in a car. Car gets flipped over. All that stuff with the... You guys have seen it.
Right after he murders the murderer.
So let's talk about everything now. Woo! All right, what are you going to say, Nick?
You also skipped over the fact that his relationship with Sophie was never real.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I didn't care that it was
we're literally getting there.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Well, so it's revealed that his relationship with this girl was all in his head. And it's not really shown whether or not he kills her or not, because he might have killed her.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know.
I think he did, but I like that they didn't show.
They don't tell
up to
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is some questions about this, where when he laughs and the... Okay, actually, let's think about this. He shoots Murray. He's on the TV. Then all of a sudden, he's in a cop car. Then he gets smashed by the ambulance. Then all of a sudden, he's in front of the crowd. He does that little thing where he smears the blood to make the smile, which was good. And everyone's cheering him and stuff like that, right? Really weird. Then all of a sudden, he's in the asylum. You're like, wait a second. What? And he's like laughing. She's like, why are you laughing? He's like, you wouldn't get it. And you're like, what is this all? What is this? Right?
Yeah.
And
what were you just laughing at, dude? You jerk.
The theory is that like a lot of this stuff that happened was just in his head and it's not even accurate.
Yeah, right. He just fabricated
the fact that details. It ends with him in an asylum. It just,
his mother did say that the papers that said okay, so you don't know if Thomas Wayne is his dad or not, because it's his word versus her word versus the legal documents. So she claims
that photo was weird, I will say, because there was like a photo. There's a scene with like a little photo with a message from Thomas Wayne. I'm like, did she write that or what? Or maybe she got like the wrong
She
vibe
made
from
me
that.
sign papers.
It was
Right.
just so weird. Like
Yeah.
there's so many like curveballs every now and then, but overall, I think she was crazy and it was
Yeah,
fake.
definitely
I think
crazy.
she was too, but she basically claimed that Thomas Wayne had that stuff forged, fabricated,
Yeah,
like the adoption papers and the
Yeah,
newspaper
to
stuff,
cover
right?
it all up.
Or
Right,
the
right.
doctor reports.
well, he has
So-
money, so you don't know.
Well,
Exactly.
here's why. The reason I do see some of this making sense is that if she didn't adopt him and she's his real mom and she's nuts and delusional and like crazy and some of the stuff, he's
Most
delusional
likely
and
passed
crazy
down,
too.
yeah.
And it proves that in the movie with his girlfriend.
Right.
Like that, none of that happened. So then you're like, well, wait, how do we know that any of this stuff happened?
Any
in
of this
movie?
happened, yeah.
You know,
but
you're
also
like,
too,
any of this could be fake.
another
Actually, the
part,
other thing, yeah, when he goes to Murray's show, remember that part at the
Yeah.
beginning where he's like in the
Yeah.
audience?
Oh yeah, it was all fake.
Yeah, that's all fake too. So you're
Well,
like,
I
well, how
knew
do you know
that
that
was-
any of this is real?
I knew that during that scene that it was part of his imagination.
Yeah,
That
you could
just
tell
seemed
that,
like it
and
was.
that's the thing. It's like it was like Inception, but not Inception.
But the part too, a part
You
that
don't
I
know-
did notice, though, the gun when Randall or whatever his name was gave him the gun, you know, it's like, this is to protect yourself. And then when the boss is like, oh, why do you have a gun? He's like, Randall gave it to me. And then they go back to another scene where in the locker room or whatever, and Randall's like, what are you talking about? Like, he had no idea about this gun that he gave him. And I was like, that's weird too. I said, how does he just not know about this gun? I said, you clearly gave him the gun. You
Yeah.
saw him drop it and do all that stuff. How do you just not know?
Well, I
So,
don't know if he
and
didn't
then
know
He
or if
came
he
over
was
to his
just-
house
If he was
later
just
too.
trying
I'm
to
like,
cover, well,
Yeah.
I think Randall could have been trying to play it off. But
Maybe.
why did he give him the gun to set him up in the first place?
yeah, that's weird.
dick
Yeah.
move, right?
Like, why would he do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then come over to his house with a pie. Like, I'm so
Well, and
sorry.
his boss is like, you stole the sign. And so then you're like, did he really steal the sign?
yeah.
Or
did
did
he-
he
well,
get
Or
beat
did he
up?
get beat up?
Well,
in
did he
it?
really get beat up? Yeah, it was kind of like it just the whole movie. I don't want to say. I'll say it. It was a mind fuck.
I don't want to say it. I'll say it.
I need to know if it was real or not. And so I think I need to see
Yeah.
it a second time. But it's like maybe he's been in Arkham. Okay, so actually there's a line in one of the comics from it's like one of the classic Batman comics where he says something along the lines of, if I'm going to have a past or a history or whatever that is, right? I'd prefer it be multiple choice. And so the movie kind of plays off that because you don't exactly know whether or not this is true or if you made it up or if he's picking and choosing what happened in his past and it's all just, you know?
Right.
And so the fact that he can sneak into the opera house, the fact that he's on Murray's show, the fact that he killed random people and then all of a sudden becomes a superhero for the entire city that starts riots, then he happens to get arrested and happens to get saved. All these things that just happen to work out. You're like, is this real or is this
the
in
movie's
his head?
in his head.
I don't want it to be in his head because then it feels like nothing happened.
Have you guys seen
Well,
American
he
Psycho
had to get
or
locked
Taxi
up
Driver?
somehow.
I
Sorry,
saw Taxi Driver and I saw American Psycho like forever ago, but I don't remember it.
American Psycho is very similar in that way, like what's real, what's fake, and then Taxi Driver is like the
Yeah,
inspiration for the movie.
it's-
But
It's
anyway,
supposed to make you think and come up with your own interpretation.
right? That's the idea, and I think that's fine.
I think it's better. Yeah, it just with that type of stuff, it just gives you a lot to think about, and you're sitting on a lot. It's like, well, what was the point of all of this? And you know, it gets people talking like we're doing now.
Makes me mad. It does make me mad, though. I will say.
Why?
It does.
What
make
makes you
me
mad?
I just want to know so bad because, okay, here's something. Well, see, the thing is, like, is any of this real? The thing that I still am puzzled with is, like, is his mom crazy or not? And it's like, I think his mom, assuming all of this is real, his mom is crazy because there was that scene. Remember that scene where he goes inside the fridge?
Yeah.
Remember how he gets, so if he's tied to a radiator as a kid, wouldn't that be past trauma that would make him want to be in that fridge because that's where he's more comfortable?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably,
especially if it's so hot, if the radiator
it's like a stress
hot.
relief. Yeah, this is stress relief from past trauma.
Yeah.
So in my mind, his mom is crazy.
Well, I believed his mom was crazy when she was like, "Oh, look, he's on the TV. He'll help us." I said, "No, rich man on the TV is going to help you, lady."
Yeah.
Like,
and
give
then,
it up.
Yeah. So I think his mom definitely is crazy, but then it's like, did he kill her? Like, is she actually dead? Does she exist? And like,
I don't think he killed her.
Everything I was like, man, I'm smart. I get this movie.
Also,
and then
too,
I'm just like, I don't understand anything.
Yeah. Those detectives followed him quite a bit. And I was like, why do they keep following him? He hasn't given them any new reason. Yeah. I was like,
why would they find him on those stars when he's in the clown uniform?
Yeah, and
Which
they just happen to find him at the hospital. I'm like, what the heck?
Him on dancing down the stairs, I think
really
cinematography-wise is my favorite shot of the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Movie.
The outfit, too. It's great.
I love the water
design.
splashing into the camera as he's like slowly going down the stairs and stuff.
You say one of your favorite, like, ever?
No.
Oh,
for that movie.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anything is my favorite ever. But that was probably one of my favorite shots of the movie. I do want to say something. So I said I thought Robert De Niro was good in this movie. All the cast was fine. But this movie literally is just Joaquin Phoenix. That's the only thing. He's carrying the whole movie. It's all about him and his acting.
Yeah. It's literally all about
no one
him.
else really needs to be a good actor. They just need to be okay actors.
Right.
And
Exactly.
he carries the entire movie on him.
Zazie Beetz is the name of Sophie,
Every
by the
shot has him in it. Like the whole movie is him.
Which would also make sense to it being in his head. And why everyone else is because all the other characters are a little more bland than him. They're not as interesting, which I did notice too. I was like, all of these people, like, they seem a little off. Like, not off like him off, but like them. Like, they don't seem like they seem a little weird. To me, they seem like a little off to me, how they were acting. So I thought it was a directing choice. So I think that makes sense with it all being in his head. Like, that's just how he sees it. That's how he viewed the people.
Yeah, I know that it is the movie takes place
and is
from
Bruce
his
Wayne
perspective.
Yeah, because he didn't speak.
I don't think so.
He didn't even open his mouth.
No, he's just a stupid kid. I'm telling you, those scenes were tagged on.
Even when his parents got shot, he didn't speak or scream or anything.
Yeah, whatever. That's the point. That's the birth of Batman or whatever.
At 8 years old.
Well, that's the thing. It flashes Bruce Wayne in the universe that it's all real and that it all happened. They flash Bruce Wayne and then they go to him in the asylum laughing. Maybe he was thinking about Thomas Wayne dying, and that's what made him laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah. Well, so this is what I was saying about. He's like in his. I don't know how old Joaquin Phoenix was. He 40? Let me see how old he is.
Joaquin?
Oh, dude, he's old. I think he's in his 40s. Yeah,
40s is not old.
Well, meaning old like
for Hollywood
in 30 years. When Dark Knight takes place,
Yeah.
So he's 44 in 1981. So he will be like 70 in the Batman movies. So the idea was that maybe the reason this is taking place in his head, or this is taking place in his head. Okay, hold on.
Wait a minute.
He's like 40, and Batman's like 8.
I don't think he's 40, and I don't
in the
think
film,
Arthur
he's younger,
is 40.
right?
Yeah. Because there's no way. Because if he was 44 in the film, his mom would have to be ancient.
Yeah,
and she wasn't.
And I think that's
old.
the idea is that he's actually like younger.
He seemed
in
like
the movie.
The mid-30s to me.
Does anyone know?
But even then, he'll
years
be
old
like,
working out the clown.
even if he's in his, let's say he's 30. Then he will be almost 60.
Yes, he will be elder. And
by the time Batman
is
like, right, so he's a lot older than Batman.
Yes.
So the
35 in the movie. Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Boom, see?
So 35, and then 30 years later, he's 65.
Yeah, he's retired.
He's got a cane, right?
He's retiring.
He's dipping into his 401k.
He's like, hit me, I want you to do it. He's in a walker. He's walking across the street in his walker.
I can't. That's his joke, though. That's like his thing. It's like, you can't hit me. I'm handicapped.
Ooh.
Got him.
Hold on. Let's stop for 1 second. So what I was saying about this is that maybe the reason he's a little bit older in the 80s is because this is him thinking about himself, and he's actually younger.
Yeah,
but he just sees himself at that age, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
did read something about that, because when we look back at things, we tend to view ourselves as we are now. I did read something.
How do you know he was 35, Nick?
Oh, I just looked it up. That's when he was born in the movie, apparently. So,
wait, it says it in the what? In Joker?
Control. I did Arthur Fleck age and then fandom.wiki.
Fans know.
Arthur Fleck was born on November 21st, 1946, making him 35 in Joker.
So I was thinking about this movie as a whole, and I do think it's good, but I feel like as a movie itself, it's okay. Like it's probably a 60, 70 for me. But it's great because of Joaquin Phoenix. Like it's basically him acting super well in a pretty decent movie.
I'd pretty much agree with most of that. I'm probably on the cusp of an 8, right around a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think if I gave the movie, like if I wasn't taking into account how good Joaquin Phoenix is in this, I'd probably give it a 7. But because of Joaquin Phoenix, I'd probably get like 8.5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like it's much, much higher because of his performance. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's kind of like a spectacle where the movie might not be perfect, but just seeing him is like worth it. You know, it's like you got to go see him acting because it's really good.
And like the plot itself is written real well in like the mindy, the cerebral way of just like messing with you. So I like that.
Once I figure out some of the deeper messages, I think I might appreciate it more. But I tend to review movies with the way it felt when I watched it the first time. Because some movies, when I have to go do homework to figure out if a movie's good or not, I tend to not like it quite as much. Because it's like, this was too hidden.
You can't figure out if something's good or not.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Us, the movie Us, I liked that movie without having to do any homework. Then I did homework, and I liked it more because of the stuff I found out about it. But I didn't need to do the homework to enjoy the movie.
Right.
Yeah. So do you not like a movie if you don't completely understand it?
That's not... I don't want to make a bold statement like that. I'm just saying in general, like if someone watches the movie like Tree of Life, did you guys ever see that movie?
I hated that movie.
I heard.
And it's like, what the hell is this movie? It's just guy is a kid, shoots his brother's finger off, then all of a sudden there's a dinosaur.
No, it's a dumb
Then it's an Earth, then they're just walking in slow motion to heaven.
It's a dumb
and you're
movie.
like, nothing makes any sense. And I feel like every
stupid
yuppie who wants to be a film guy is like, no, I get it. I definitely get it. It makes sense. You don't get it. Nobody gets it. I bet the director doesn't even get the movie. Right? And so I don't like movies like that. And so with Joker, the only thing is like, I hope that there is an answer. Mm-hmm. Because I don't always like... notice I'm not being super stern. Like, I never like this. This is always bad. I'm just saying in general.
Wrong, that's usually how you are, though. Yeah.
In general, with movies, I don't like it when it's like, okay, everyone wants to know how this movie's going to end, and so we're not going to give them an ending and make it open to interpretation because that's what we thought was best. And it's like, all right, now you just didn't give me an ending. You know? It's like, at least give me something.
Right.
But I get, like, Inception didn't give me an answer. But the whole point of the film was not giving you that answer. You know, it's like, I get it, because we might be in a dream, they might be in a dream, it all makes sense, and that's why it ended that way.
But Joker is like, you want an answer?
Not fully, because I get that I'd like to be closer to an answer, but I think if I did some homework, I would figure that out.
Right.
I want more than I have right now, but I do understand the point of not getting it. All comes down to that quote from that comic. I'd like my past to be multiple choice, because you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So you can't fully know what his past is because, I have to think about it more. I think I need to see it a second time as well.
So 8.5 for now.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if that's too high.
Why didn't you go watch it twice before the review, Luke?
I don't have enough money for that.
You should get. I'll say.
I just didn't get around to seeing it a second time.
Zazie Beetz, by the way, is a great name. That's Sophie's name in the
Zazie.
That's her real name.
Yeah, she's in Deadpool 2. Anyone remember Domino?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I recognized her from something.
Yeah, she's cool.
All right, so those are my final
cool.
thoughts. If I was going to compare him to Heath Ledger, I know you really can't because they're so different. There's such a different interpretation.
And he's dead, so Heath Ledger will always win.
R.I.P.
Know that I wish I could have seen him more as the Joker. This isn't something that the film needed to do. It's something that I wanted to see, though. Because you see him right as he's becoming the Joker. But you don't get to fully see him as Joker. It's like you see him just starting to be the Joker.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed. Idea, right? I don't think it would have worked for the film, but I would have loved to see 5 years later, this is the Joker. This is Joaquin Phoenix as the actual Joker now. Because that would be fun, but that's not really the scope of this movie.
But Luke, the whole point was it was all in his mind. He was never actually the Joker.
So, like, Heath Ledger had so many scenes that he just runs the show. And I really love that. And we didn't have a whole lot of that in this movie.
Right.
But it wasn't really about that. So I can't fault them for it. I can just say I kind of wish I could have seen that as a just something I can see. So you guys talk. What did you guys think of the film overall?
Well, I was just thinking, something you just said is just like Heath Ledger owning the show is like, feel like the Nolan Batman, since it's actually a superhero movie somewhat. Mm-hmm. Or I guess the idea is that he's not a superhero, but whatever. Is that it has to be more theatrical and flashy in a way. And this was more dramatic and toned down in a lot of ways on purpose. Mm-hmm. So I guess, I'm okay with him not having to take the scene. I mean, his dancing scenes were great. And then him with the shoulder blades and everything that he did was phenomenal. But
for sure.
Ultimately, this movie's about mental health. And it was really well done, really well shot. And I didn't expect that from the guy that did Old School. So props to him. I hope he keeps doing more good movies and not a Hulk Hogan biopic. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Solid movie.
Real quick. So
he might get an Oscar. I don't know.
You know how
a nomination at least.
You know how you compare Iron Man to Batman, and Batman, or even like the old Batman movies to the new Batman movies. The new Batman movies were much more realistic viewpoint of Batman and of the Joker, and it was like a little less superhero-y and a little bit more real life. Like, if the Joker actually was real, this is probably pretty close to what he would be. I feel like the Joker is the next step after that. Like, the Joker is an even more realistic Joker than even the Joker in Dark Knight.
Right.
Like if he was a real person.
Right.
Shane, what about you?
That's kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
I really liked the movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought Joaquin was great in the movie. I thought the directing was great. The music too was also pretty good, especially the dancing scenes I thought were just fantastic. And the music that went with those were really great too. There was a lot of really good character moments. I think what you said, Luke, is true. Like, you're gonna go see this movie because Joaquin is playing the Joker, and I don't see any other reason why you would probably go see this movie if it's not for Joaquin, unless you just really like the Joker. But yeah, it was pretty solid. I definitely would want to see it again too. Just seeing the ending and now going back with a more fresh perspective of what might actually be going on, I think would be interesting to see it a second time. Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
For what it's
and
worth,
I knew nothing about
Yeah.
it. And this is me, and I'm a person. I knew really nothing about this movie before we talked about it on the podcast last week. Besides that, Joaquin Phoenix was playing the Joker.
Mhm.
So,
for what it's worth, this movie didn't have to be titled Joker. It could have been titled like Arthur, or
it should have been titled
Whatever.
"I'm a Clown."
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck.
it could have been like any kind of symbology. Like, it doesn't have to be a clown, you know. You don't.
Yeah.
The Joker part of it, I don't know. It's not a huge deal.
I've heard that scene where the guy kills the Wayne's parents, or Bruce Wayne's parents, that was added because they're trying to set up for a potential sequel or some tie-in, I guess, with the next Batman movie, and they're going to try to convince Joaquin to reprise the role.
If Joker is successful enough,
and they
maybe.
did that just in case it works out. They have
Right.
something that'll kind of tie it into it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If Joker's
But
successful enough, yeah,
and the
we'll
scene
see.
comes across that way, which is a little bothersome. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Joaquin should do it.
I think that I'm trying to think about Heath Ledger's Joker and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, but I'm trying to
Jared
think of
Leto's?
it in terms of like which one,
Amen.
which one's gonna last and which one's more memorable. Which one?
Heath Ledger.
and There's so
But see, that's not fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's not exactly fair, and I'm not trying to be exactly fair though.
Yeah,
It's like I do
No
think
doubt in my
that
mind.
Heath Ledger's is so iconic. The look, the voice,
Yep.
the quotes.
Yep.
It's gonna last longer. But I do think that Joaquin Phoenix did the best performance he could have possibly done in
Right.
this version of the Joker.
Right.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I might lower it to an 8. I know you said
But
an 8.
too, a lot
I
of
think
that too
it's
comes down to
8.5.
like the directors as well.
What'd you say?
And I think a
Yeah.
lot too. A lot of that comes, and Christopher Nolan is a fantastic director.
I think
Yeah, that's
The
part of
Dark
it.
Knight had a better script, like a more interesting script and stuff. So that's one of the reasons.
It's similar in
Um,
some ways. The like maniac part of it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
And just
I have
like
nothing
the-
more to
yeah.
comment on unless you guys say something and I think of something.
Well, it was great. I'm guessing Joaquin was inspired some way by Heath, but anyway, it was better than Jared Leto's Joker, and also it was the best clown movie of the summer because it too sucked. So
It too did not suck.
yes,
Nick.
it did. I'm good.
I think it too was the only movie that made more money than this movie for opening weekend.
Dang, that's surprising. Anyway,
For what? In compare, what do you mean?
like an opening weekend.
Hold on.
Like
Maybe I read
in general? Because that's not true. Or
Hold on.
Definitely not true. What are you talking about, Luke?
Oh, it was for opening weekends in fall.
okay.
It too made more money.
Oh, gotcha.
Or no, sorry. It chapter 1. Never mind. You're
in
good.
chapter 1.
Yeah, it's the only. Okay. I mixed up
2017.
two different lists that I saw. One list, it said that It Chapter 2 was ahead of Joker, but it was for movie theater openings. And so I'm like, what? It means that
Okay,
It
what?
Chapter 2 was in more theaters.
more
It's like,
theaters.
well, who cares about that? That's
Right.
dumb. But the other list was opening weekends for fall. Joker was number 2, and It Chapter 1 was number 1.
Gotcha.
Which
Yeah,
I think
boy.
makes sense. Boy.
Boy.
I got
It
nothing.
Chapter 1, great movie. It Chapter 2 is bad. Anyway,
We start with talking to Joker.
last
and
comment.
Elliot.
They're
Last
literally
comment.
the same film. Watch them as a one
If
epic.
you want to watch Joaquin Phoenix play a
Do
character
it.
extremely well, go see Joker now. It's really good. If you watch this whole review and didn't watch it, that was dumb.
yeah, you idiot.
But go watch it now. All right,
You
I'm done.
You might don't go see it. We just spoiled the movie.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. So
Nope.
let's
Go
wrap
see it.
this
do it.
thing up. Plugs. Nick.
LOL.
My name is Nick, and of course you can find me
Nick.
at I Love Drummond. ILOV. Just kidding. Everyone knows how it's spelled. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing more video stuff here soon because I'm
Yeah, the
recording
YouTubes.
again.
Woo, woo.
Yay!
Yay!
I got a lot of crap happening in my life, but I'm working a lot, so I'll probably post some videos. So follow me on there. I Love Drummond, no G, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Bye.
Yay! All right, Shayne.
Hi, yes. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Mr. McCatty, MrMCCATTY. And to keep up with me and all the cool things I'm doing, I'm currently doing my Gym-O-Ween challenge, which a lot of people have been asking me what that is. Long story short, last year I went to the gym every day for like the 2 weeks before Halloween because I wanted to look nice in my costume. So this year I was like, you know what? We're going to up the game. We're going all month. So I am 8 days in. I'm only allowing myself to take one off day a week. And I'm starting to feel it. But so you can follow my Instagram, and it's like my Instagram highlights and all that good stuff. And then to have a lot of really great fun projects that I'm working on that I can talk about in the upcoming months very soon. So I can't wait to share that. So to stay tuned to my Instagram for all the cool updates and things. Boom.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram you can follow the podcast on Instagram at WAITSB Podcast. We post pictures, memes. And so we actually had a couple people post some things, like share things to the page, and I reposted them. So if you want to interact with us, that's the best way to do it. My Instagram is Luke Roxwold. That's LukeRockswold. Go follow me on there. That's the best way to know what I've been up to and to get a hold of me if you want to try and do a project together, because I'm always down. Except for projects that are stupid. I won't do those.
Wow, no one's going to approach you.
Jeez.
It's just like, if you guys come to me with a project, I'll do it.
You're stupid.
That's a lie.
No, you're
I'm not going to do
stupid.
anything. Because that's like someone saying, do I have a volunteer? People put their hands up. It's like, you have no idea what they, they can make you do anything. So follow me on that Instagram page, Luke Roxwold, and we will listen. We're not going to listen. You're going to listen to the next episode because you're a great fan, right? Guys, thanks for being on the episode. Thanks for listening, everybody.
You're
welcome. Outro.
Music is outro.